So recently I've been playing Halo Infinite, and it has good maps, but Halo 2 maps are better, fun gameplay, and has post-launch support, even if there's not a lot of modes. But recently I've been wondering myself why people have been complaining about microtransactions to skins and its monetization when it doesn't disrupt its gameplay from the infamous Battlefront 2 controversy. And this game doesn't have the reasons for me to go back since I already know the experience. It's not the game's fault, by the way, it's lately how I'm burned out at the game. And this is not mostly from Halo Infinite. There's other games too: Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Valorant. There's a lot. There are games that implement microtransactions just so people can find a way to complain, whether it's the Battle Pass and bundles. They have a reason why. It's probably because a skin can cost many, when before in games they were just $1 or $3, and Battle Pass is predictable that companies never try to make their progression system different, which recently, when recording Halo Infinite, they managed to do that, to its monetization to $1 or $3. It's not perfect by any means, but you have to start somewhere. It's a subtle change when before microtransactions were something that developers do expansions or DLC, and map packs for a short time and a short profit, where there's good examples like Battlefield 3 Close Quarters and Halo 2 were just map packs for a few maps back then. It was divisive, but at least we can see the developers put effort on making map layouts, and a few months later they were free. And games before were package complete. There's no updates unless it needs to be patched, and this generation, games these days do new updates for free, which is fine, but it's not fine. I'm fine if games do seasons as long as they're complete, but nowadays, developers rather gave us the beta, hell, maybe a pre-alpha, and having that mentality to fix it later. That is why microtransactions can be an issue when developers focus on monetization more. It became a revenue to buy skins, and on paper, this is a great deal for a developer and the consumer. The developer can able to make money in a short span while focusing on main projects like seasons, while the consumer can buy anything they want without randomizing. It's still questionable how people complain about it. Some people say you can't get most skins for free, like Halo Infinite and Valorant, but few people like me think that they don't benefit the game, and doesn't do anything in-game. It's like a random deal from a trader in Resident Evil 4.
Got something that might interest you.
And maybe, most people think that it disrupts the development of making a complete package where there's bugs, hitbox issues, broken UI, and etc. And I want to go to the topic where it doesn't benefit. Remember I said microtransactions were something that has new gameplay opportunities or have something that has quality in it. It's a small cache where it can distract you and have fun memories to those few hours you spent, like Halo Wars 2 Awaken the Nightmare or Bad Company 2 Vietnam that made fans remember Battlefield Vietnam. That we see the developers that they care about the game. But nowadays, games that are seasons are rather predictable and don't have things like that surprise launch or new gameplay opportunities. Although, to advocate myself, seasons can be great as long as there's new weapons, agents, and maps that people will play for free, while the developer's revenue is the skins. And I can understand that as a business model, but are developers afraid to make maps that are different or something fresh? Valorant in 2 years has new maps and has some small changes to their plays, like Fracture. I can credit the developer Riot when they're adding new agents and have to be viable to the map, but their experience is the same. They have new artistic experience, but some maps they repeated. Same as Call of Duty Warzone, they don't bring new experience but rather add more what we see, a different coating. Halo Infinite tries to add events for skins, and while they're free, they don't bring any new experience with the exception to attrition. But the 10 right event with Fiesta is something we already have to other Halo games that's used for an excuse on new content. Multiplayer games these days have become a service that is good for the investor and always have a plan B when there's new patches to fix, and no matter how many dollars for new skins that it makes the consumer complain and concern, there's always a subgroup that can buy it, and that's not a bad thing at all for people who have their go-to experience. I play Halo Infinite from time to time because when I get burned out, I don't play it, and a week later, I can have fun again. And no matter how much new content, patches, and bugs that are fixed, there's always a loyal fanbase who will stay there and be satisfied in the end. And this is a practice that is alright. when I said it benefits the consumer and the developer, adding more while not slapping $1. But these days, games have been playing safe and not risking it. There are multiplayer games that has seasons, but not risking it to have new unique experience that stand out, and when they come back, they can notice the difference and improvements, which if it's a game as a service, they will be different to its artistic, modes, and patches. There are multiplayer games that need patches to fix and don't feel complete, and that's what I have my issues with Halo Infinite, that whenever I play a new game, they don't feel complete, and instead, focus on microtransactions that don't benefit anything to the game except the publisher. So, I was trying to do a Marty O'Donnell metaphor of Be Nice to the Goose. I recommend you to watch his presentation on his Be Nice to the Goose. I tried to reference it here, but I'm afraid I have an audience that doesn't understand the metaphor. Link in the description. And this is the cut line of my script. Don't benefit anything to the eggs except the owner, who kicks the goose. And today is a bit weird for me to publish a video. My videos are mostly one video per month, but I want to violate that rule and make essays sometimes, or maybe a decent short video on my thoughts.